Well, hi folks, it's that time of year again. It's about time to plant the leeks out. I'm going to do this in a two-part stage. I'm going to just dib all the holes tonight because it's had a good rain today, so the soil's been nicely dampened, so they're not going to collapse in on themselves. And then tomorrow night, if it's not raining too much, I'll come and plant all the plants in the holes. But anyway, just the first bit, the most important bit, dibbing the holes out. So what I'm using, as normal, is an old broken shaft of a spade. I've set the gauge to about 6 inches, and the reason why we do plant them in a hole is because if you just planted a leek on the surface of the soil as they've been grown, then basically all the shaft will be dark green and not very nice to eat. So the reason we bury them, well, not actually bury them as such, but keep them in the dark, is because then what that does, it's called blanching. It turns the shaft of the leek white because it's got lack of sunlight, so it doesn't photosynthesize and turn into green matter, and that keeps them nice and sweet. So that's the reason. So like I said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this dibber. I'm going to plant them out roughly a foot apart each way, so I'll just put these in for my first holes for a guide, and then I'm a foot apart in the rows, giving them a bit more room this year. Couldn't be easier. Just going to plop this in, wiggle it about 6 inches down to the mark, and repeat 50 times. So I'm going to get 50 leeks in here, 10 rows of 5, which is plenty. I usually grow them quite close, a lot closer than this, but this year I've got plenty of room, so I'm going to plant them a little bit further apart, which should hopefully prove to grow a bigger leek. The more room you give them, generally the bigger things grow. I'll just get on and finish these off. Show you what the hole's like. Not very exciting, but I'll give you an idea. And then, like I said, tomorrow, what I'll do, I'll show you how I plant them, how easy it is, and the watering technique, which is quite important too. It's a bit of an hard bit. Right, so that's it. That's 50 done. It's quite a good workout, that. One after the other. So I'll just show you what it looks like. I'll take this thing off. So there we go. We've got 50 holes, about 1.5 inches wide and 6 inches deep. And then tomorrow night, I should have done it now actually, really, but I've forgotten to bring them up with me, my leeks. So I'll plant those out and show you how we do that, and then show you the sort of specialist way of watering them, I suppose, for the first watering. But that's about it for tonight. Well, hi folks. The next day now, so I've brought my leeks up. So it's just a matter of planting these out. So first job is to separate them. Take my phone and all my rubbish out of my pocket. So I just want to try and separate these into individual plants. Have a see, can you see? Where am I? God, it's bright. Where's that? There we go. So I'm just going to rip this open. I've got plenty of these boxes. No need to be too cute about it. Just slide them out. And then it's just a matter of reasonably carefully just separating these into single plants. Take all the soil off. Just leave yourself with some little plants like so, with the roots on. As you can see, I'll shake all the soil off. So that's what you're looking for. Things about 9 inches tall. Nice set of roots, nice set of fresh white roots. And then what we'll do, I'll pick out the best sort of 50 or so, because I've got 50 holes. Put all the runts to one side and give the runts to my mate to plant, because he's not got any growing. So as you can see, they come out quite easily. So it's not a big deal. So we'll get all these sort of split up, sorted out, and then we'll get on with planting them. So there we go, that's 50-ish. Must be at least 50 there of the biggest ones. Sorted out, a few runts. So I'll just go on and plonk them in and show you how it's done. Right then folks, it couldn't be easier, this. When you've made your 6-inch holes, or however deep you want to make them, just take a single one, single plant, and just plop it into the hole right to the bottom, like so. One thing you shouldn't do is fill the hole in at this stage. I'll show you what happens when you water it later. Because the last thing you want is for all the soil to get in between these leaves here at this stage, because then you'll end up with like soil in between your leaves of your leek, and when you eat them it'll be all gritty. So at this stage just plonk them in like so. Again, couldn't be easier. Quite therapeutic, or mind numbing, however you want to describe it. So I've got 50 of these today. They do look a bit silly, just little bits of leaves stuck out of the hole, but they do grow well once they're established, and they'll just grow to fill the hole, and you'll end up with a big leek within this hole. So we'll get all these plopped in, and then I'll show you probably the most important bit, the first sort of watering in. Well, that was a good guess, wasn't it? Look at that. One left. So I pulled 51 out and I needed 50. Right, that's those in. I'll just show you how we water them now. Right then folks, the last and final part of this procedure is to water them in. And my weapon of choice is a watering can with a piece of hose pipe stuck on the end to sort of extend the spout a bit. And what you want to do now is just fill every hole up to the top and try not to wash any of the soil down into the hole than needs be, because when you water this there'll just be enough what gets washed off the sides just to fill the hole up with water, and enough soil to just cover the roots at the bottom. So like that. As you can see, I can stop the water with my finger at the end. And doing this, I'll knock the roots right down to the bottom and just wash enough soil over the roots of the little plants. Because the worst thing you want to do is use a rose or something like that now, because that'll just, all that will do is just wash the soil into the hole and probably fill your hole up with soil. Like we said before, the last thing you want is to get sand and soil between the veins of your leaves, because later on that's what will be all gritty when you cook them. So yet again, another therapeutic or back-breaking exercise, whatever you want to call it. Once it's done, it's done. And then really they just sort of look after themselves. Not a lot more needs to be done. Pretty much pest free unless you're unlucky enough to get rust or the new leek moth that's appearing down south, but thankfully it's not up here yet, so personally I don't have many problems with them. So let's get these finished and show you what it's like when it's done. So again, there we go, just enough water to do the lot with one watering can. So that's them all watered in. I'll just show you what they look like. You probably still see some of the water in the holes. You can see the water in the holes there. And that'll have washed enough soil down just to cover them if I show you, like that one there. You can just see it's just washed enough soil to cover the roots. So that should do. Anyway folks, that's it. 50 leeks in, done, planted. Not a lot more needed to do now, just let them grow and that's it. So anyway folks, that's about it. That's how I plant my leeks. See you later.